Hello, everyone, and welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. We are here today for the fourth event in the Stirling Sim Academy series. In practice, we have 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go as our drivers start to battle it out. Currently, Dave W. Thomas leads with a 37.27 lap time. We'll see how our other competitors start to fare as the time session goes on. Last week, Ace won the challenge with the prize of $5 after completing all of the laps without going down, and did it with 0x, compared to the other drivers, including Brent George, who technically won the race, who had several incidents while Ace had 0. We'll see how this continues to play out, as if more drivers can continue to make laps go down. Then, we'll see who wins this week's challenge. Looks like the number 13 is trying to give Ace a bump draft going through these corners, see if they can work together a little bit, or maybe he's just trying to take him out. Either way, we'll see how it continues to play out. If they can continue to race safely, then we won't have any further incidents. Ace lets number 13 go by as they go on to their next lap to do some more practice. We see for this fourth event that Scott is running a new paint job this week, a red paint job with a nice white stripe for representing the homebrew colors. Always good to see a little bit of league honors there coming from Scott. And any other drivers that decide to run homebrew paints, we always appreciate it. right on David W. Thomas this time. I mean, iRacing says it's right on there, but it looks like Dave is a little bit faster here at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see how this continues on, as Scott looks like he's going to be getting a draft off of the number 53 David W. Thomas as we continue going along. The draft here is going to be very important here at Texas, as keeping that draft is going to be the difference between winning and losing. And it looks like we have a new competitor for fastest lap. Is Bryn George.
Anybody want to run in a pack?
Winner of last week's race. It seems like Bryn is going to be on a hot streak to see if he can keep up that winning level. He has a good pace as always, so we'll see how he continues to do. Bryn pulls off. Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble. We'll see how this continues to play out, see if he can keep up his pace. I'm sure that Scott and Dave are really going to want to push as Dave takes over. As Dave falls back and Scott takes over for that second place position here in practice with a minute left to go. We join Scott on the inside as we are here going through Texas. In the tri-oval section, we seem to have a little bit of a small pack forming as we are going into the last 40 seconds of the session. Maybe in these last 40 seconds they can get a little bit of it. It seems like Scott is lifted just to see what happens going off here as he raises up a little bit. Texas is known for having little grip with its surface, so if he can continue to hold his line and get some good grip, it's basically going to win this race for you. Come up on our last laps. Let's see what the final positions are for practice. It's going to be leading. We are going to have Bryn George, followed by Scott Whiteman. In third place, Dave W. Thomas. Fourth, Ace. Fifth, David. And as a late, just-in-time entry, in sixth place, the number 20. Oh, okay, it's just going to put me in. Awesome. All right. We are now on the qualifying laps. Good time that we will be right back. Now is a fantastic time to tell you about this week's sponsor, Woodbeck Auto Parts. If you're looking for quality auto parts since 1939 in the southern Canada area, go to woodbeckautoparts.com. They will always provide great service for anyone in the southern Canada region. If you're interested, please give them a look. We appreciate them as a gracious sponsor, and they've done us well. So make sure you check them out at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. Sterling Sim Academy is also brought to you by Homebrew Racing. HBR has always done great with starting an amateur league, and we are looking for more people. If you're interested, join up at iracing.com. Join us. We're excited to have you. And it seems we have currently with our qualifying Bryn George in first, followed by Dave. Oh, and it looks like they've reshuffled again. In first, we have Brady Floyd, followed by Bryn George, with third place Dave Davy Thomas, and fourth David Ackenbauer. We are excited to see how this continues, and we are very, very ecstatic to see who continues to win this race. This series has been going strong so far, and we would love to see some more contention. So far, this has been the fourth event of the Stirling Sim Academy series, and we will be right back. We are back with the Stirling Sim Academy with the fourth race at Texas Motor Speedway. So far, it looks like our final positions are going to be Brady Floyd in first, followed by Bryn George in third place, Ace Thruitt. In fourth place, Dave W. Thomas. In fifth place, David Ackenbar. In sixth place, Scott Whiteman. Ignore cameraman and Jacob Waters. They're not there, I promise. We now have drivers lining up on the grid. It's always good to see our drivers here at this Stirling Sim Academy. We're happy to see anyone on track. So far today, we have number 8 of Bryn on the outside. He is last week's winner. And we now have Brady Floyd, the number 20, on pole position with a 37.08 lap time. We'll see how he continues to do throughout this race session. It's a long race here at Texas Motor Speedway. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. There on the inside in the 5th position, we have Ackenbauer. Six drivers here on track. We'll be getting going in just a moment as we're waiting for the pace car to take off. We'll be joining our drivers throughout this race to see how they continue to do. And they are off, going off of the start-finish line, and they are going through the tri-oval following the pace car. Double file is our start. We're excited to see how they're going to do here today. It's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure. As a newcomer to our league, Brady is already on pole position. See how he can fight from that, because as we can see, Bryn has a lot of pace from last race, and Ace has always had a lot of pace too, especially at these 1.5 mile tracks. He's going to have some pretty good offensive coming at him, so hopefully his defense can be good. Scott is always a great drafter and a person that can really fend for that lead when he's up there, but he's starting in the back. We'll see how he does. Winner of our prize today is going to be the person with the fastest lap that is still on the lead lap. We'll see how that goes. As we come towards the green, pace car comes off. They're getting going.
Green flag.
There it is. They are going. It looks like Ace has a little bit of a slow start as number 13 pushes on his bumper. Ace is a little bit loose as he's driving on the controller today. Number 20 pulls across, and Ace stays on the inside while Bryn falls back. Number 20 pulling away with Ace right behind him. He's probably going to get a good bump draft from him. They've been working well together so far. There's Bryn holding up there in that third position. Scott stays down to the inside while Dave goes wide. As they head into 3. Ace is looking a little bit loose as Ace runs high. Bryn takes up that position in the bottom as Ace falls back, getting pushed by David Ackenbauer. It looks like there's a spin a little bit from the number 13. Does he hold it? He does. He does hold it. Brady Floyd still leading with Bryn right on his tail. Scott running a little bit high, going through 2. Bryn stays nice and low with Brady. Texas is a killer of tires. We're going to see how keeping that low line plays out. Bryn is right on him. Ace and Dave look like they're going to have a little bit of some contention later this race, along with Scott, who seems to be drafting them pretty well as David falls back a little bit more, sadly. They go into the tri-oval with Brady pushing hard, with Bryn trying to get by, it seems. See how it continues to play out. They're running a little bit of the middle line. Dave going up a little bit as Scott seems as if he's going to try to reel in as Ace tries to defend his position. David's got a long way to crawl up from 6th position. We're going to see if he can do it. Bryn goes to the inside. David going wide. Brady going wide, sorry. Although he does hold it as they go across the start-finish line, as there's a bit of a small pack forming behind them with Scott in the rear, but forcing hard on that number 53. Ace is going to be still using his controller as he tries to fend off Dave. Looks like Dave goes to the inside. Ace going wide. Scott getting some draft behind Ace, but then Ace pulls along. Ace going low. Scott staying high, riding real up close to that wall. Scott dives down to join the groove. Seems like they're gaining pretty hard on Brady and Bryn. We're going to see how it continues to play out. David is falling a little bit back, but he seems like he's got some good pace. Maybe he can continue to catch up in the next coming up laps. Brady's trying to hold off Bryn, who gets a lot of speed from that draft, as it looks like Bryn is going to be pushed. There's a bit across the back stretch. Bryn goes low. Looks like they're looking for a wheel. Looks like David is finding that Scott is a quick driver right behind him. They have caught up to Brady and Bryn. Looks like Ace is going to go in for a little bit of aggressive move on Bryn. Nope, he continues to stay filed back. Let's see. Ace goes low! However, can he hold that position? Because Bryn has a lot of speed in that car. Ace stays low, but he looks a little bit loose because he's driving with that controller. It looks like Ace is going to maintain that 2nd position. Good for him. Now Dave W. Thomas is going to have to force his way around Bryn somehow. And the loose car of Ace. We'll see how it continues to play out, as Scott seems like he's pretty content there with his 5th position, with David Hackenbauer 4 seconds behind. Let's see if he can continue to catch up. He lost that really a lot of momentum on those first laps. We'll see how it continues to go with about 40 laps in Texas. Ace comes up to the inside on Brady. And he seems to let him by for first place. Ace is now in first, but he has that car loose. Oh no, there's contact! Oh my goodness. Huge wreck. Takes out just about everybody. Scott looks like he's the only one that gets it through. Goodness gracious. Gives a chance for
Can I get a black flag clear? Since I got hit, I slid into the pits, and they gave me black flags for speeding in pits and pit entrance.
Bring requesting a black flag clear. Makes sense as he was put in that position, which is rather unfortunate. It looks like people are now going to have to pit from that. What a wreck! You can see Brady's car is pretty heavily damaged from that, as he's still maintaining in 2nd place at the moment. Wow! What a wreck! Let's see what happened there. So it looks like with Ace getting loose, he hit the number 20, which caused him to go in the wall.
Pace car in the backstretch.
Which then forces him into the number 8 of Bryn. And as the number 20 continues to slide, it gets right into the way of the number 53. Goodness. Huge wreck off that. Scott goes down low to get some space so that he doesn't end up hit. Understandably so. It looks like from that incident, Ace managed to roll as well. As he comes in and then hits the pit wall hard. Yikes. Good thing this is just a simulation. Wow. What a wreck.
Okay, I just got a black flag for passing the pace car. I don't know what happened there.
Wow. So far, what an extremely eventful race. Now rejoin live with now Dave W. Thomas in first place. Look at that. Looks like Ace is going to be giving an EOL penalty after that. Makes sense. That was a pretty significant wreck. Although, only caused by his controller, does not seem to be malicious.
So do I need to serve my 1 minute hold, or I got it for passing the pace car, but I don't know what I did there. Pass the pace car.
As we head on to lap 11, we can see how Dave is still leading as he did not pit. Thus putting the number 13 into 2nd position with the number 53 in 1st. Bryn and Brady are going to be 3rd and 4th with Scott in 5th. Let's get on board with Scott, see how he's doing. There he is. He's kind of getting his positions back a little bit, it seems. Let's get on board with him. You can see even the slight angle here at Texas at the back. He maintains a little bit of some...
Telling me to let the 13 by, but...
Anyway. As they head into 3, we can see how they're maintaining single file going down into 4 at the moment. About to go into the tri-oval. We'll see how Scott continues to do, because it seems like he didn't get much damage off of that, but everyone else has gotten some repairs, or in Dave's case, in first place, he did not repair. One lap to green. Here we are at Texas Motor Speedway. Looks like that number 13 is trying to wipe his tires a little bit.
I'm gonna get a black flag because it's telling me to let the 53 by, and he's up there, so.
Jake, if you can get ready to clear that as we go into...
Just letting you know now.
As we go into the laps. Irish
You are collecting black flags, man.
Yeah, I think I broke the game.
As I was about to say, it seems like iRacing's having a little bit of an issue there. That happens sometimes as black flags are cleared, and sometimes it stays. We'll see what happens as we continue to go in. I'm sure that Jake will clear him as it's not an unlawful pass, looking at where he is currently in 5th place.
Throw your Pop-Tart at it.
I think me going through the pits like 100 miles per hour during that wreck really broke the game.
As it does, Bryn, as it does sometimes. Racing's not always capable of handling everything. Pace car is off as they go into the tri-oval, getting ready to go into the restart zone.
Green flag.
There it goes, the green flag. No, the number 53 taking first position is the number 13. Did not get a great start. The number 20 going on the inside of him, going into that 2nd place position. Bryn and Scott are going to have a little bit of a drafting battle here. As they go in, but Bryn is going to get that inside position. However, the number 13 stays a little bit wide, does not ride that bottom line. Ace goes on the inside of Scott. Scott lets him by, going on the outside. The number 20, Brady Floyd, is going to go on the outside of David W. Thomas as he takes the first place. You now see Ace drafting hard off Bryn, but Ace goes up, blocking Scott. Scott's going to have to get by Ace, but Scott goes down low, dips below that line, but he does not pass. He's going right on his quarter panel as Ace stays on that outside line, letting Scott take that position. Scott maintains 5th place. He's got a little bit of some ground to make up after that block from Ace. Scott is going to have to try to draft off Bryn so that he can stay up with that front pack, as David Thomas, even with his damage, is holding on strong, but it looks like Brady Floyd, with his car repaired, is going to be taking first place if he can get by him. Because it looks like David W. Thomas is not going to let that bottom line go. Here they are going into one. You can see how they're trying to go double file, but it looks like some of them are a little bit squirrely. Number 13 forcing number 8 out wide. As they head it back into single file, heading into double file now onto the back stretch. Brent looks like he wants to see if he can get by. So he wants to with a couple of them. But it looks like that number 13 is going to be nice and aggressive on him and make the attempted pass. Not quite stick yet. Brent keeps that inside line as he's currently going across the start-finish line, get that 3rd place. Brent drafting off the number 53 as the number 13 goes wide. Ace and Scott seem to be having a little bit more of their own battle as they've caught up. Brent pops in a little bit now. Could have been dangerous. Number 53 staying low as Bryn tries to go on the outside of him. We'll see how he can maintain that position as number 20 continues to lead, but the number 13 is going to be nice and right on his bumper. He's got plenty of drafting options at the moment, but he doesn't want to let Ace back in because Ace is going to be fast. Number 13 bumping that 53. Oh, skims the number 8. A little bit of aggressive driving on that number 13. We're going to keep an eye on him. Anyway, it seems like as we continue to go on, number 20 leading with the number 53 right behind him, and the 8 wide on the outside. However, he's still able to keep that pace, probably getting some good side draft off of him. David W. Thomas does not want to let that bottom line go. He's going to let him go as they go, and they did not quite go through right, but it looked like they were just about to. Yikes, that would have been dangerous here with these street signs of Texas. You can see our cars continue to slide up as As Brink maintains that outside, and the number 13 looking to get by as he goes on the inside, and number 53 cuts his quarter bumper just a little bit as they go as they're going 3 wide into one, now going into 2. Ace comes up on that inside. Cars are looking very loose. The number 13 on that inside, forcing the 53 wide. Yikes. David Thomas has liked that inside line this entire time. We'll see how he does on this outside line now. Oh, he goes up, giving Bryn a little bit of an opportunity to go down and see if he can get by. Yikes, that's quite a shovel for Dave. Maybe with that number 53 power, he can pull himself back. We'll see what he continues to do. Pretty Floyd in this opportunity. He's got himself away a little bit as the number 13 stays attempting right on him. As Ace is now up there too. Ace has a little bit of a way to work himself back. So if Ace can hit that fastest lap, might be good for him, especially if he can get by. Ace now moves up into that almost second position. So number 13 stays on the outside. Maybe Ace is going to try to get through so he can try to get his laps back. We're not sure yet, but Bryn goes on that inside. Very aggressive. Looks like they're forming a nice tight wound. Scott and Dave are going to stay back a little bit. We'll probably work together. Uh-oh, Ace is looking a little bit loose as they head into the tri-oval. This is what happened last time. We'll see if he can hold it this time. As he holds it well, they're going into... Oh, and he hits the... Oh, and wreck going into 2,
Caution
and
is out,
caution is out on the halfway
Look
mark.
at your temps to make sure everything looks
Did
okay.
you see that save? Goodness.
Oh, goodness. We have a huge wreck with Ace and Scott involved. Let's see what happened. Looks like Ace got loose coming on the outside, which then spun Scott, forcing him into the wall. Yikes. Quite a wreck. Ace with that controller, man. He has a lot of speed, but it looks like it comes at pretty significant cost as the number 13 rolls by Scott. So he's going to get a pass-through penalty after that. Here at Stirling Sim, we try not to put any needless penalties out there. It's supposed to be a good learning environment. However, we can see that sometimes some dangerous driving does need to be addressed. Scott going into the pits after that. Seems like he's really going to mix some things up. But now it seems like Brady is going to be forced to work with everyone else again instead of just running away like you'd like. David Pion was able to force himself back up to 3rd, which is good after what happened with the number 13 shuffling him out. I'm sure he appreciates that. However, it seems like the top 3 go into the pits all together. Maybe looking for a bit of a tire change after all that. So far, this has been the 4th race at the Stirling Sim Academy, and we will be right back. Are you looking for a quality auto parts retailer store in the Southern Canada region that will ship just about anywhere down there? Then look at Woodbeck Auto Parts, as they've been in business since 1939, and they are a gracious sponsor for the Stirling Sim Academy series. They've been a great sponsor, and they've worked great with us, and we are so excited to call them ours. If you are interested in some good auto parts from any time of just about any modern vehicle, along with the largest auto recycling plant in the Southern Canada region, then look at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. Looking for a quality racing series to call your own? Then take a look at Homebrew Racing League, as here on all of our different services, including our Twitch streaming service, YouTube channel, and especially our iRacing League. Look for all your racing content there, and you will be quite rewarded with a plethora of different content to look at. And join us at iRacing.com's League services. We come back with 1 lap to green here at Texas Motor Speedway on our second caution. Currently, our positions are Brady Floyd in the number 20 in first place, followed by Bryn George on the outside with the number 8 car. On the inside, right behind Brady, we have the number 13 of David Ackenbauer. Fourth place on the outside of him is going to be Dave W. Thomas. In fifth place, 1 lap down, is going to be number 17 of Scott Whiteman after an incident. And in sixth place, we have 2 laps down, number 77 of Ace Thurwood, who's currently driving on a controller for this race. Drivers are currently heading right into 4 at the moment. Pace car is going to pull off in any second, as our drivers are getting ready to resume the last laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. Pace car is off as they head into the restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag as Brady maintains his lead with Bryn on the outside. Number 13 falling behind with Dave not getting a fantastic start. Scott falling behind a little bit with Ace behind him as well. Brady continuing to keep that bottom line with Bryn on the outside just a little bit with number 13 coming back in. We see how that 13 likes to shuffle cars in and out. He's been doing a great job of that. Number 13 is now getting a really hard draft on that number 20 as they go outside. Almost through wide. Nope. And then number 13 checks back in. The number 20 giving him a little bit of room to see if he's going to go down. Looks like the 53 is loose. Does he save it? He does. He does save it. Wow. What a flashback to number 13 earlier in this race when he did basically the exact same thing. Good save, Dave. But now he's got to work himself all the way back up. This time, seems like without a drafting partner. Although, we've seen people come back from worse, so we'll see how that continues to go. Number 20 lets a 13 go by on the inside. Looks like that number 13 is getting a little bit too feisty for him. I'm sure David wants that win, so if he can hold it, then he's going to want it. Number 20 coming back into the file in right behind him as we are heading into the midday. Almost 1 o'clock p.m. here at Texas Motor Speedway, and at the same time, each of our racing league sessions takes place at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number 13 keeping that low down as Bryn starts to get some heavy gains onto that number 20 car. Bryn getting a little bit loose trying to follow him. We'll see how it continues to play out as Bryn is getting a little bit feisty there with 14 laps left to go. Number 13 looks like he got shuffled out himself as he's now in 3rd position behind Bryn as the number 20 and Bryn have been working together this entire race. Scott seems like he's pretty bent on trying to keep up with them. He's going in for his green lap pass-through penalty. Number 20 continues to hold that lead with Bryn right on him as they're trying to push themselves down the straight. Looks like he got a little bit of a bump for Bryn, which might have been just a tad too much and got them a little bit feisty. However, it's not going to be enough for that number 13 to keep up. He's got the file line right behind them with Scott on his tail now. Scott pulling hard as they go into the 12 lap to go region. Number 20 continued to hold his lead as they went to 1, and now heading into 2. Number 13 forcing himself on that inside line. Race officials are going to have to take a look to see if he passed under that white line. Here they are continuing to go down on to 3 and going into 4. Looks like Bryn got himself back into 3rd. Number 13 holding himself still there. Pushing himself on Brady Floyd. See if the number 13 can shovel himself back into 1st as he's done already twice so far. Although it might not be enough as he's going to have to block Bryn, because Bryn is going to be fast with that street stock. However, number 20 lets the number 13 go by as he goes down a little bit. Number 13 continues to roll by them. However, Bryn keeps to keep that inside line that he so desperately wants to use as they go into 3, about to go into 4 now. It's going to be pretty hard on him. We're going to watch on Bryn's boost factory from his right front suspension. Here we are with Bryn, as we can see him going into exiting the tri-oval, now going into 1. Seems like they left a little bit going down into 2. He's probably going to want to work with that number 20 there that he has in front of him. So see if they can overtake together the number 13, who's been forcing himself up there, who wants that win desperately. The number 20 goes on his inside now, pushing him out. Bryn goes by them, but now he has to work with that number 20 to see if he can go by them, as here we are with 10 laps to go. 9 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Bryn gonna want to work with that number 20 as they continue to go now into 1. Now 2. He's got a good drafting partner there. They've been working great together this entire race. We'll see if Bryn is going to try something cheeky to get by him. We're not sure though. Let's take a look at David Ackerman now. As he is on the outside of Bryn. Bryn continuing to hold that position as they go into the trial now, crossing the start-finish line. Bryn holding that bottom line, going by, trying to stay right behind that number 20 to see if that number 13 cannot get by him. There we are. We can see Scott right behind him with that Woodback Auto Parts logo right on his big front hood. Number 13 staying on that outside, staying with Bryn. See them all grouped up together at the moment. Bryn continues to hold that second place as now the number 13 can't really stay up with them as much. It's probably going to have to file back. Sierra with 7 laps to go. Number 17 is Scott Weldon holding on to with them even if he's 1 lap down. He really is going to want to stay with them, especially to stay on. He's only 1 lap down, I'd say, too. Scott's going to be trying to split the draft a little bit and then choosing to stay behind the number 13 as they go into 3. Right the top line, Scott going down. Number 13 chooses to stay wide. An interesting choice here at Texas Motor Speedway as they go into the quad oval. I'm sorry for saying tri-oval the last little while. As here we now are with 6 laps to go. We're winding down in this race. Currently, Brady Ford is continuing to lead as he has been for this entire race with Bryn right on his tail. And number 13 looks like he's going to tap Bryn a little bit. Bryn gets a little tiny bit loose, but he holds it really nice and tight because David Akbar is going to want that position as he has been fighting for it this entire race. We now head into 3 and 4. Bryn continuing to hold it. Scott going out wide. Scott comes back down low, trying to hold his position. David is going to keep on that outside. We're going to see how that continues to go. Looks like he's got some momentum coming out of that corner as they head into now 1. About even, and he starts to fall behind a little bit in the corner, but he's going to get a good run out of this corner. So we're really going to see how this continues to go, but he chooses to stay behind Bryn and get that draft instead. Number 13 gives the 8 quite a bump. Probably a 2x there, if not 4. They head into 4 at the moment. Number 20 holding his lead. Positions are still unchanged. Top 3 are going to have a tight battle, and I'm sure that we're probably going to get a wreck in these last little bits and seeing how competitive they have been with each other. Bryn continues to hold that bottom line with the number 13 going out wide. Number 20 continuing to hold his lead. Bryn goes to the inside. Number 20 goes to block. But now, the number 20 has to worry about that number 13 coming on the outside of Bryn as they go into 3. As they come into the quad oval now. David Ackenbauer going to have to hold down those positions as we are now with 3 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm sure they all got some pretty sweaty palms at the moment as they're trying to keep up this front-running positions. Bryn gives the number 20 a pretty big bump, which seems to maybe not have worked as well as they thought it might have. Number 13 comes down on Bryn a little bit. They did not make any contact. They go into 4. Number 20 still holding that lead. Number 13 giving him space for the moment. Bryn holding on to that number 20 as the number 13 gets a little bit loose. Scott catching up to them. 20 continues to hold that lead as Bryn pushes him as much as they can going into this final lap. It'll be in just a minute. Holding it down, but now the number 13 goes down low. The number 13 gets by both of them, holding into that first place position now with the number 20 on the outside. They're going to have to fight for that. Number 13 is not going to want to give that one up as he gets pushed by Bryn. Bryn now in third place. Scott looking to see if there's any way he can get by as Bryn holds that third place with the number 20 on the outside, holding it nice and tight. Bryn gives him a little bit of a bump in the corner. Oh no! Number 13! He holds it. Bit of a move out of Bryn though. Let's see how people look back on that in the future. Yikes. It's pretty tense as here they are on their last lap. Bryn continuing to hold that lead now as number 13's been basically moved out of that way. Right on purpose. Yikes. Let's see how they go by now. Bryn holding the first place. Number 20 on the outside. It's going to be a close finish. And Bryn holds it. Bryn wins again here at the Stirling Sim Academy.
Good race, Neil. Nice, clean race.
Not a bad race indeed. Not a bad race.
Good race. That was fun. I was a little aggressive when you 13 at the end, but
Well, gotta be aggressive sometimes.
Your finishing positions are in first, the number 8 of Bryn George. In
My
second
own
place,
aggressiveness took me out of the lead, so how aggressive could I have been other than to myself?
the number 20 of Brady Floyd. In third place, the number 13 of David Ackenbauer. In fourth place, the number 53 of Dave W. Thomas. In fifth place, the number 17 of Scott Whiteman.
Thank you, guys. It was fun. Thank you.
I wish I was racier, but I got loose and lost the draft, so I couldn't even keep up with you guys.
There are your finishing positions there.
You were there 5-3. You could have made it interesting if you pulled up to the outside with like 10 to go.
Good run, Brent.
Congratulations to our race winner, Bryn George, as he pulls up against the
Oh,
outside
snap.
wall.
It got into the back of me, alright.
good race, guys. Thanks for the host.
If you enjoyed our race today, make sure you check out woodbeckautoparts.com, the sponsor of the Stirling Sim Academy series. Another sponsor of the Stirling Sim Academy series is Homebrew Racing, the league on iRacing that you should check out, and here at Twitch and our YouTube channel. And we're also on Instagram as well. Make sure you check us out. We are super excited to join with anyone we can. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.